Hey everyone and welcome back. So I am going to start adding some really nice like toggle boxes. So as you can see, I have like this over here. And we can do a couple things here. I'm just going to detach this component completely. So I'm going to go in here and detach the instance. I'm just going to call it card. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that. And then I think I'm even going to, we can mess with this button a bit. So let's call it add and, remove the fill. We can put a stroke on it. So you can go ahead and even, mess with your own buttons like that. Just make it like that. And there we go. So, feel free to go ahead and, mess with your buttons, even when you're like prototyping like this. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just like have a couple of different options. There, not a couple, but like several options here that they can interact with. So I have that. I'm going to just make this a bit smaller. And the text in here can probably be something around like 20. The actual padding, I'll probably keep it really small to like 16. And then instead of having padding between items, we're just gonna make it so that it's space between them. We're gonna set like a set height like that. Okay, so we have gaming, maybe there's like reading. I'm gonna make a whole grid here. Fashion, and the last one I'm gonna have is something like music. So I'm gonna actually, going based off of like some of the color work that I've been thinking about, I'm going to start like just adding the different instances. Like maybe there's a purple over here, and maybe this one's like more on brand with like a yellow. Maybe it's a little bit more paler than that. And then the green is maybe like a version of the blue. Like, oh, that's a little too blue, but maybe it's like that. So now we have like some pretty nice color tiles, and they all kind of fit really nicely together. They complement each other well, and just gives somebody who's coming through this flow, just a nice way to interact with them. Now let's think about what it looks like when, they're clicked. So, I have messed around with this instance a bunch, but I'm going to actually I'm going to add an icon here with like a check. Okay. So like, I'm not a big fan of that check mark, and I don't have another icon right now for it, but what I can do is I can just go back into my material icons here. I can go and find the check icon that I'm looking for, something like that. Drag it. What size is this? I think that's 20 by 20 in the top it said. Oops. Let's just make it 20 by 20. And then I can detach these instances all together. So I'm using Option Command B. And if you look in terms of like the actual component here, right click, that's going to be your shortcut. Once you get used to like inputting all the shortcuts, you're just flying at this point. So that looks nicer than the actual square. So I'm going to remove that. The circled version. And there we go. And I think at the end, just to cap this off, we're going to copy it and it's going to show up over here. Let's see. Success. The user has registered for the new product and can now access all of our features. Okay, perfect. So I think at this point, like, this is a part where we can like maybe put some confetti pop or something. I'm not too, worried about that. just yet. I just want to make sure that the flow seems good, and then I'm going to start building up the fidelity from here. And I'm just thinking about text again. Registration complete. Get ready to have the best shopping experience of your life. Okay. Perfect. And I think, just to maybe cap this off, we have like a button that says, like, let the shopping begin. Something like that. And maybe it's on brand. Like at this point, it's like, okay, now I'm starting to think about what colors make sense here. Should I be using like a nice yellow, like the logo that we have? Should I be using like a different color? So definitely start thinking about incorporating brand as you build up the fidelity, and you start thinking about things like a border radius and what is the proper form process we're going to use. So do we like the stepping process here, or is it a combination maybe with like a progress line across, which I like using a lot. It's very visual. And just thinking about like the the copy within each form item or button, and keeping your form items very, very simple can really add to a nice, delightful experience. And this is something that somebody can literally complete in probably under 5 minutes, maybe even less. So that is how you create a flow or a registration flow in Figma.